Don Jr., he's so embarrassing. He's on the stand, he's testifying in this $250 million fraud trial, and he has to compliment. He said his father is an artist with real estate. The first time Donald Trump ever tries to stop someone from talking about him on television, and it's me. Usually when he wants somebody to stop talking about him, he pays them $130,000. We have Donald Trump Jr., who was in court again this morning. There he is. You hear the protesters chanting, crime family, and that is basically what these people are, a crime family.
Donald Trump tried to silence Jimmy Kimmel by calling Disney, yes, with official White House staff. But instead of quieting the comedian, Trump handed Kimmel the greatest gift a comic could ask for: endless material. The result? A hilarious parody anthem and months of mockery. You won't believe how a president's thin skin became late-night comedy gold. Before we move on, I will like you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. What happens when a president with the thinnest skin on record clashes with a comedian who's made a career out of poking fun at inflated egos? Well, you get entertainment that writes itself, or in this case, jokes that go so viral they nearly break the internet. Donald Trump has never been known for his ability to let things slide, whether it's a jab from a political opponent or a snarky remark from a comedian. But his reaction to Jimmy Kimmel takes this reputation to a whole new level. Trump's over-the-top sensitivity isn't exactly breaking news. This is the same guy who used to have full-on Twitter meltdowns over Alec Baldwin's SNL impression. When most people laugh along or shrug off comedic jabs, Trump treats them like full-blown campaigns against him. He's phoned TV networks, fired off furious tweets in the middle of the night, and tossed out nicknames that sound more like rejected reality show titles.
Fathered Eric and Don Jr. would know how to handle jokes, but I guess not. The article says news of these calls spread around the corridors of power in Washington. Wow, what a plot twist. The father of hotel gyms. He said, maybe someone put a gym in a building somewhere, but no one did it at the scale of my father. He's saying that his father, the father of the hotel gym, is a guy who's never stepped inside one. But he wanted me to do it for nothing. I wonder what it was specifically that sparked his Trumper tantrum.
But his feud with Jimmy Kimmel might be one of the most bizarre examples of his inability to laugh at himself. And it all started with one gloriously ridiculous nickname: Taco Man. Now, before you start picturing Trump at a taco stand, let's talk about where the nickname came from during one of Trump's many legal battles, because we all know he's spent about as much time in courtrooms as he has golf courses. His legal team made an unexpected slip-up that had everyone scratching their heads. It happened during a particularly tense moment when his lawyers awkwardly tried to explain away Trump's refusal to testify in person. They tossed out excuse after excuse, each one flimsier than the last, until they finally threw up their hands and claimed Trump always chickens out if he feels the situation isn't fully stacked in his favor. Kimmel, of course, wasted no time turning this into comedic gold. On his show, he broke down the courtroom blunder in full detail, then christened Trump with the name Taco Man, a play on Trump always chickens out. It was the perfect mix of absurdity and bite, and it instantly caught fire online. Memes flooded Twitter. TikTok set it to mariachi music. Late night viewers couldn't get enough. And Trump? Let's just say he wasn't laughing. As the nickname gained steam, Trump reportedly lashed out in classic Trump fashion by picking up the phone. But instead of calling Kimmel directly, Trump escalated things in the most Trump way possible. He made the White House staff dial into Disney, the parent company of ABC, which airs Kimmel's show. Multiple desperate calls were reportedly made, with Trump angrily demanding that someone, anyone, step in and do something about Kimmel. Because apparently when you're running the country, taking down a late-night comedian becomes priority number one. If Trump thought those phone calls would scare Jimmy Kimmel into silence, he didn't know who he was dealing with. Not only did Kimmel ignore the president's tantrum, but he leaned into it harder. Inspired by the nickname's viral success, Kimmel put together a full-blown parody anthem dedicated to Taco Man, featuring jokes about all of Trump's favorite insecurities: the crowd sizes, the golf scores, the spray tan. It made him an even bigger punchline. The anthem was so popular it racked up millions of views in days, with fans remixing it, singing along, and blasting it across social media. Here's where things got hilariously ironic. By trying to silence Kimmel, Trump ended up amplifying him. The more he fumed, the funnier the jokes became, and the more people wanted to share them. Trump's effort to control the narrative backfired completely, turning him into the butt of jokes on a much larger scale than he could have imagined. Even those who might have let the Taco Man nickname slide found themselves drawn into the story, curious about what had Trump so riled up. And Kimmel? He thrived. With Trump unintentionally providing a steady stream of material, Jimmy managed to turn the whole incident into a comedic masterclass. It wasn't just about mocking Trump, it was about showing how someone in a position of power, someone who should theoretically be above petty squabbles, could be so thin-skinned that a single joke could unravel him. This wasn't just an isolated event, it's part of a much bigger pattern that's played out throughout Trump's time in the spotlight. Time and again, his attempts to stifle criticism have backfired, drawing even more attention to his flaws. And as we'll see next, Kimmel wasn't the only one unafraid to push back, using humor as a weapon to shine a light on Trump's desperate need to control what people say about him. Kimmel wasn't just roasting Trump for laughs, though. He seemed to understand the deeper implications of Trump's behavior. By obsessing over perceived insults, Trump wasn't just providing his critics with more material, he was also making it painfully clear where his priorities lay. And as Kimmel pointed out, those priorities weren't exactly in the best interests of the country. It's one thing to be thin-skinned, it's another to be so fragile that late-night monologues send you into a full-blown meltdown. And Kimmel took full advantage of that, using humor not just to mock, but to expose how Trump's inability to take a joke reflected his overall mindset. What makes this whole situation so ironic is that Trump's attempts to shut Kimmel down only helped Kimmel's jokes reach more people. By trying to silence the comedian, Trump accidentally shined a spotlight on the very thing he wanted to bury. It's the ultimate backfire. A powerful figure trying to suppress criticism ends up amplifying it instead. This is where Kimmel's genius really comes into play. He didn't just point and laugh, he used Trump's outrage as fuel for an even bigger fire. The Taco Man anthem, viral before, took on a life of its own once new material like Don Jr.'s testimony added fresh layers to the joke. Kimmel's comedy became less about offending Trump and more about exposing how easily Trump could be provoked. And nothing exposes weakness quite like a man in power losing sleep over a comedian's punchlines. This isn't just about one late night feud, it's a case study in how power reacts to parody, and how sometimes the reaction says more than the original joke. By treating satire like subversion and criticism like a personal attack, Trump turned what could have been a passing insult into an ongoing embarrassment. Kimmel's humor didn't just irritate Trump, it revealed his inability to separate personal insecurities from public responsibilities. And as months went on, Trump's obsession with Kimmel continued, proving that this wasn't just a one-off blunder, but part of a larger pattern. Comedy made Trump vulnerable in a way few other things could, and with every overreaction, Trump built the very stage Kimmel performed on. It's no wonder Kimmel kept circling back to this feud, because every punchline landed better when the guy on the receiving end kept flinching. Just think about it. When was the last time laughter made someone that uncomfortable? And what does that tell us about the power of a good joke? Trump's obsession with controlling the narrative didn't shut down criticism, it lit it up. Instead of silencing Jimmy Kimmel, he handed him a never-ending supply of material, proving that irony isn't just alive, it's laughing along with the rest of us. And it's not just about jokes, it's about what this overreaction reveals. As Kimmel put it so well, in a healthy democracy, scrutiny isn't sabotage, it's survival. Leaders should be able to handle the heat, not run from it. So if satire can expose cracks in power, what does Trump's reaction tell you? Maybe humor isn't so harmless after all.